โอเคมาแล้วช่วงนี้เราไม่ค่อยไลฟ์เกมชินเลยแม้กระทั่งไลฟ์เกมทั่วไปแต่ผมรู้สึกว่าช่วงนี้แบบมันเลิกงานดึกแล้วกลับมาก็ง่วงแล้วก็เลยแบบไม่ได้ไลฟ์สักทีเรื่องผมก็ยังดองไว้อยู่เลยนะผมคิดว่าเนื้อเรื่องมันใช้พลังงานเยอะมากเลยกว่าจะนั่งดูเนื้อเรื่องจนจบได้เนี่ยก็แบบคงไปเน้นคอนเทนต์อย่างอื่นละถ้าสมมติผมจะไลฟ์เกมชินนะอย่างเช่นรับดูอาร์ติแฟกต์หรือลองจัดทีมหรือแบบเดินเล่นเลื่อยเปื่อยสำรวจอะไรมาเนี่ยแต่เนื้อเรื่องนี่คือแบบเริ่มขี้เกียจแล้วจริงหรือเผลอๆเนื้อเรื่องตัวละครนี่ผมอาจจะแบบไปทำทีหลังก็ได้แบบนอกไลฟ์แล้วแต่จะว่าไปเรานึกถึงช่องอุ๋งอุ๋งเลยอุ๋งอุ๋งตอนนี้รู้สึกว่าก็ไม่ได้ไลฟ์เกนชินแล้วมั้งแบบพักไปไลฟ์เซคิโร่และเกมอื่นมั้งเอออาจจะเบิร์นเอาท์แบบเราก็ได้มั้งแต่ของเราคือมันพอหน้าที่การงานเยอะขึ้นเรื่อยๆเวลาว่างเล่นมันก็น้อยลงแค่จะเล่นปกติยังไม่ค่อยว่างเลยและยิ่งเป็นช่วงนี้เป็นช่วงท้ายแพทได้มั้งมันเลยเบื่อๆหน่อยก็รอเมื่อไหร่3.4จะอัพสักทีนะแต่คิดว่าตู้3.4เนี่ยผมว่าผมจะเปิดเซียวไปเรื่อยๆแต่ถ้าหลุดเหลือตัวเซียวก็อาจจะวัดดวงงูเต่าC1เลยมั้งแป๊บนึงนะเราไลฟ์ไปเรื่อยๆนะคือไล่เก็บเนื้อเรื่องผมตั้งใจอยู่แล้วว่าผมจะต้องทำไอเนื้อเรื่องละมุดเควสหลักอะก่อนที่จะจบแพท3.3โอ้ยนี่ก็เดี๋ยวถ้าทำในเรื่องเสร็จแล้วค่อยนอนดีกว่าโอ้ยแย่ละคงปีนี้เราต้องตั้งใจว่าจะไม่เติมกินชินหนักมากแล้วเดือนนี้เราแม่งเสียไปกับไรเดนC2ซะเยอะเลยไม่รวมไปแบทเทิลพาร์ทกับหมดไปกับ Valorant ด้วยช่วงนี้คือหัดเล่น Valorant ด้วยซึ่งส่วนใหญ่ผมเล่นกับเพื่อนแล้วก็ไม่ได้ไลฟ์เอาเนื้อเรื่องเนี่ยเราดองไว้ตั้งใจว่าจะทำก็ไม่ได้ทำสักที
Take heart. Victory will be ours.
เสียงวันนี้เราก็แหบๆเป็นเงี้ยแหละปกติเราก็เป็นคนเสียงแหบอยู่แล้วแล้วตอนนี้ยิ่งหนักกว่าเดิมอีกแย่จังทำเควสเดียวรู้สึกว่าปกติผมเปิดคู่ คู่โปรแกรม VTube Studio เนี่ยแต่ตอนนี้ผมไม่ได้เปิด VTube Studio เพราะมันกินเครื่องมากช่วงนี้มันเฟรมเรทมันตกไงก็เลยแบบเน็ตไม่ค่อยดีด้วยก็อยากเปลี่ยนเน็ตอยู่นะ
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper.
นั่นนี้น่าจะพูดถึงละมุดมั้งแต่ว่าไปก็นะ
If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
เราพูดถึงเราก็มาพอดี
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion.
So what? For the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kind of lacking.
รู้สึกว่าเราอุตส่าห์หลบสปอยมาตลอดนะว่าถ้าเราทำเควสนี้จบเราจะตั้งชื่อละมุดได้
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it, and
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But
if you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
ช่วงนี้มันอาจจะเป็นช่วงเบิร์นเอาท์ของเราก็ได้วะ
hold on, Sawada.
ไล่เก็บในเรื่อง
That's a bit of a
พอละ
deep dive or...
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
ทุกทีเราจะแบบฟัง NPC พูดจนจบเลยอะซึ่งมันยาวมากเควสอะกว่าจะทำแต่เควสเสร็จก็เลยไม่ต้องรอมันพูดจบก็ได้ให้มันพูดอย่างน้อยสักประโยคสองประโยคก็แล้วก็ให้ประโยคข้อความที่มันขึ้นแล้วก็ค่อยข้าม
Let me give you some
แต่
background.
เราไม่ค่อยชอบสกิป
This
โรยๆดี
all
แหละ
started with the discovery
ยก
of
เว้น
some
เควสโลกอะ
artifacts
ที่มัน
in
ไม่มี
Tatarasuna. The writings
ไม่มีเสียงพูด
mentioned
อะ
someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Apart from the sword maker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before
so first this strange person goes missing.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I...
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in... Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa.
Wait, so there are two missing people in this?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
ที่จริงเควสไซโนกับเควสนีรูผมไม่ได้ทำเลยคงแบบไปไล่สกิปรัวๆแล้วก็ค่อยไปดูย้อนหลังแบบไปดูสรุปรวมๆจากที่อื่นละ
Wow,
Lemon tea gets easy.
you really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art.
ทุกทีปกติเราจะไลฟ์ในเรื่องตัวละครเนี่ยแต่ว่าแบบตอนนี้มันไม่ค่อยว่างเลยก็เลยเอาแค่เควสหลักพอแต่พอตอนนี้คือเควสหลักแม่งก็เบื่อแล้วเหมือนกัน
Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
according to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
หุ่นเชิดละมุดแน่นอน
Puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
No. Paimon just meant, how...
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And
อันนี้ถ้าเราจะอ่านเนี่ยมันใช้พลังงานเยอะเราแบบขี้เกียจอะเดี๋ยวค่อยไปถ้าแบบเป็นสายเนื้อเรื่องจริงๆเราคงไปดูช่องอื่นแล้วอะเราจริงๆเรามีเวลาจำกัดด้วยแบบตี 3ก็เริ่มง่วงแล้วอยากนอนแล้วก็กลัวว่าเควสมันจะไม่จบภายในตี 3อะแต่หมดแต่หาประโยคพวกนี้นะแต่ก็เราพยายามอ่านไปผ่านๆอย่างนี้ประโยคแม่งยาวจริงอะเขียนก็ไม่หมดด้วยนะ
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
โอ้มีนี่ เป็นเกี่ยวกับทาทาสุนะยาวงั้นเนี่ยยาวไปขี้เกียจอ่านเกี่ยวกับคนที่ทาราสุนะนะ
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like,
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to get...
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now.
All right, thank you.
นี่คือแบบว่าเรายังใจดีนะที่แบบรอ NPC พูดสักนิดนึงแล้วค่อยข้ามทุกทีไลฟ์ก่อนๆแบบช่วงที่เราแบบ
Talking about...
จริงจังกับเนื้อเรื่องมากเราแม่งเรารอมันพูดจนจบเลยอะคือบางทีแบบถ้ากดสกิปโลมันจะพูดแปลกๆอะมันรู้สึกขัดใจอะให้มันพูดอย่างน้อยสักประโยค2ประโยคแบบฟังว่านี่ประโยคนี้นะแล้ว
Okay.
ให้มาดูเป็นธรรมชาติหน่อยหนึ่ง
Even if we did know something about it, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest.
ละมุดนี่หว่าหรือเปล่า
Did you see that? He literally just went by over there. It looked like
ละมุดนี่หว่า
a balladeer. No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
ละมุดก็โผล่มาให้เราเห็นเลยเว้ยเอาละ อันนี้เราเล่นเป็นไรเดนโชกุนแม่มาแล้ว จะมาตามแล้วนะมาตามถึงซูเมรุเลยเนี่ยเราก็มาเจอนาฮิดะ
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah, it's him!
อ้าวอยู่นี่
Sure enough, you're here.
สาขาลามุด
Hey, what are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumero would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you... But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
มีปริศนาซ่อนอยู่อะ
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I...
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us!
ไพมอนไม่เชื่อสาขาลามุดวะ
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
Well, I, for one, have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in...
Sometimes it's you using them,
เรากดไวไป
other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear. Don't you?
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right. Then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you...
ไพมอนก็ยังไม่เชื่อลามุดทีเดียว
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. Exactly! Or what if... I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
โอเค
Paimon's still worried about this idea. I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
พาเราไปเออร์เมนโซนาฮิดะไปตกลงอะไรสักอย่างกับลามุดนะนี่เราหลบสปอยมาทั้งแผ่นเลยเนี่ย
Looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumir.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company.
Shut your beak, jailbird. No way a prisoner gets to be so smug.
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. I know there are many grievances between you on both sides. Fine. Let's call it truce.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path.
สรุปว่ามันเป็น
All you have to
เควส
do
เทพเจ้าหรือ
is
เควส
keep
ใน
your
เรื่องละมุด
pretty
วะเนี่ย
eyes open and try.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's
We
ผ่าน
can
วัน
start
พูดมาก
now.
จัง
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
เอาละเข้าไปแล้วจะมีคาซีนอะไรไหมนะ จะถึงช่วงที่เราสามารถตั้งชื่อลามุดได้อย่างเนี้ยนี่เราไม่ได้ดูสปอยมาเลยนะ
So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out.
เราจะต้องเดินตามละมุดบรรยากาศมันสวยดีเนี่ย
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction.
อ๋อ
No
แล้วเปลี่ยนไป
wonder
เปลี่ยน
he
มา
mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
วาร์ปไปวาร์ปใหม่นั่นแหละมั้งเนี่ย
We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
ละมุดทำงานให้กับนายดะ
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
คัดซีนแน่นอนแบบนี้
For once, we're the ones with nothing to do. Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
คุยกันด้วยกระแสจิตเว้ย
Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join. Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads? That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. Paimon's never tried this before. And so, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say. As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today. Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else. Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon. Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on. Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still... Oh? How interesting. So the Gase got it right? Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
อันนี้ก็พูดถึงทัทาราสุนาอยู่
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved. Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up though. You and your twin come from outside this world.
เรามาจากนอกโลก
Wouldn't surprise me
ว่ะ
if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well,
นี่ว่าเป็นผู้ดูแลทาราสุนะเขาคือเครือญาติของอิชินะเท่านั้นเลยนะ
Oh!
โอ้ทำคัดซีนดีว่ะ
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Skills, blood, dreams, Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using
คน
the
นี้
new
มาจาก
technique.
เมืองฟองเต็งนั่นแหละ
Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
ไอ้คนนี้ถ้าจะเป็นช่างตีเหล็กที่ว่ารู้จักละมุดอะแต่แล้วเขาตายมั้ง
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace.
อ๋อเทคโนโลยีก็มี
People who went
ม
out
ล
to
พิษ
get
อี
help
ก
have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the shogun's own hand.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside.
Judging from the look in your eyes.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
อ๋อแทงหลังแน่นอนดูจากตรงเนี้ยนี่ไงเรียบร้อย
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias,
ไม่ได้มา
and
จาก
that
ฟอนต์
I was not from Fontaine at all.
สรุปว่าไอ้นี่เป็นฟาทุยแน่นอนอะ
And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you...
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
อ๋อไอ้ด็อกเตอร์นี่ มาสำหรับตอนหนุ่มแล้วเนี่ย
The Fatui?
Just to create
เดาออกตั้งแต่แรกแล้วว่าฟาทุย
minor inconvenience for your
เสียง
next
ภาคเนี่ยชัดเจนละด็อกเตอร์
That's it. That's why you...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead.
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world.
ว่าเราโลกสวย
It
นะ
almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa, already dead. What a pity.
กลายเป็นด็อกเตอร์จริง
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
ๆเนี่ยแล้วก็มารู้เรื่องของด็อกเตอร์
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore. Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
สรุปว่าผู้บงการเบื้องหลังทาดารัสุนะก็คือไอ้ด็อกเตอร์เนี่ยแหละ
But why do we see things from his perspective? When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means.
กินเวลาเป็น100